Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Terry Koss Show, a wrestling podcast. I am your host, Terry Koss, coming at you from the Great White North, and this week I'd like to talk about the feud between Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. Now, for many of you that know, Goldberg was one of the featured characters in WWE 2K17. If you ordered him before a certain date, you could get him in the game. Goldberg went on SportsCenter, talked with Jonathan Coachman, and Coachman said, "Would you ever make a WWE return?" Goldberg said, "It's possible." And he said, "I'd be remiss if I didn't give Brock Lesnar a rematch." The last time these two fought in a match was at WrestleMania 20 back in 2004. So, after Goldberg's comments, Paul Heyman got on Raw on October 10th and basically said to Goldberg, "You have been challenged by Brock Lesnar to a match, or to a fight." So then we wait the next week. This is Goldberg's first return to the WWE, first return to Raw, actually, in 12 years, the last being WrestleMania 20 in 2004. Now, this to me was just awesome. I have been a fan of Bill Goldberg since around 1998. I watched most of his WCW run. I thought he was just a really cool wrestler with a really cool look, and it was obviously it was great to see him back. Goldberg, of course, said how great it was to be back, and he really had a good promo on that night. He talked about missing wrestling and missing being a superhero for the kids, which I thought was really sweet. And he said it was actually nice. In the audience was his wife and his son, and he said, "This is the first time my wife and my son have got to see what I do." So Goldberg basically goes on to say, Paul Heyman came out and challenged me to a fight. So Goldberg says, "I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it." And he's like, "But you know what? Maybe I have one badass spear left in me," he said. "Maybe I have one badass jackhammer left in me." So Goldberg accepts Brock Lesnar's challenge. Now, this is just, really cool. And of course, the next week on Raw, which is October the 24th, we had Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out, and Paul Heyman saying, "I hate these Goldberg chants," and basically somewhat saying that Goldberg is going to, or basically saying that Brock Lesnar is going to destroy Goldberg. Not really much of a promo there, but, that's sometimes how it happens. Turns out there will be a match between the two. Will take place on November 20th at Survivor Series in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which got me excited, Canada being my home country. If I had to pick a winner of this match, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, let's take a look at both these guys and kind of, do a rundown. Bill Goldberg first started out in WCW in 1997. He had his first match against Hugh Morris. He came out, didn't really have any entrance music or anything behind him. Hugh Morris came out and had entrance music behind him. Goldberg dominates this match, gets the win, and went on to become one of the most successful superstars in WCW history. He went on an undefeated streak, which went to 173 wins and 0 losses. During this time, he became the WCW United States Champion. And on an episode of Nitro, in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, Goldberg defeated Hulk Hogan, or Hollywood Hulk Hogan at the time, to become the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Goldberg would also win the WCW World Tag Team titles with Bret Hart. If we look at Brock Lesnar, he first debuted in the WWE in 2002. Brock Lesnar is just a machine. He plows through every single person that is put in his way. A big path of destruction. He goes on to win the King of the Ring in 2002. That year, with the winner getting a shot at the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. This was up against The Rock. Brock Lesnar goes up against The Rock and beats him. This is maybe a year, or not even a year into his career, and of course, Goes on to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship a few more times, has some great matches against Kurt Angle and The Big Show and many other greats of that time. Brock Lesnar takes a few years off after the match at WrestleMania 20. He went to Japan, did very well there, and then decided to go into UFC. And of course, we all know how his UFC run went. Very well, capturing the UFC. I believe the heavyweight title. Feel free to correct me on this, as I am not super duper big into UFC. So Brock kind of reigned over UFC for quite a few years. In 2012, Brock comes back to the WWE, beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30, ends a streak, beats John Cena to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and has just gone on to be a force of destruction, really. Then, with Goldberg, after WrestleMania 20, we didn't hear a lot from Goldberg. He appeared in a few films, and, that was really it. We didn't really hear a whole lot about Bill Goldberg. He hosted a show about muscle cars, I believe. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. And got married and had a son. And yeah, that's the last we heard of Goldberg. And so if I had to pick a winner here, Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, I am always going to go with Bill Goldberg. I've always liked Goldberg better. I always thought he had a cooler look to him. He had more attitude to him. Like he would talk sometimes, whereas Brock Lesnar would have Paul Heyman talk for him. Goldberg had that kind of cool edge and kind of a badass kind of, look to him. And the only thing I feel that might be a detriment to Goldberg in this match is simply just ring rust. Ring rust being when you have not competed in a ring for a long amount of time. From what I've read, Goldberg did actually appear at an indie show last year and wrestled a couple matches, so he has a little bit of ring rust, but there's a difference between wrestling at an indie show and wrestling for the WWE. That, to me, is going to be Goldberg's biggest detriment to him, is ring rust, if he does have any. Not saying that he doesn't train. I saw him on Raw, looks in great shape, and but Brock Lesnar has been wrestling in WWE a lot more frequently than Bill Goldberg has, and so in that respect, the match could go either way, but I myself will pick Goldberg to win at Survivor Series. For anybody following this, feel free to use the hashtag #Let'sGoGoldberg. Now, this show isn't only about wrestling. I am also a big fan of wrestling theme songs, the music that people come out to. In the past week or 2 weeks or so, there has been actually quite a few theme releases by the WWE. I'll just kind of go through them right now. Okay, we have had quite a few. Starting off from Lindsay Dorado, Golden Rush, released on iTunes. If you look under CFOs, you'll find his theme there, Golden Rush. Not a big fan of this theme. It's not bad, but also released was TJ Perkins, Playing with Power. This, of course, also done by CFOs. This one debuted when Perkins debuted in the WWE, has a very Nintendo, very Nintendo 8-bit kind of feel to it, and that's a thumbs up for me. The next one we had Sin Cara, Faceless. Sin Cara given a new theme since breaking up with Kalisto and becoming a member of the Cruiserweight division. At first I heard the song, I was like, I don't know, because it was a different departure from all of Sin Cara's themes before, and after a few listens, I really started to dig this. I really did. We had the theme for Total Bellas, We've Come So Far. Have yet to listen to it, but hopefully it's pretty good. Another Cruiserweight Classic theme, Drew Gulak, Totally Drew. This one to me sounds like it's like the theme from an 80s kind of like a courtroom show, like LA Law or any one of those from that era. Not a big fan, so I have to give that one a thumbs down. Another release for a Cruiserweight wrestler, Tony Nese, Win It All. Sounds very different from the theme he used in the Cruiserweight Classic. I give this one a thumbs up. Definitely download. These last ones, of course, can all be found on iTunes under CFOs. That's CFO $. Next up, we had Sanity, Controlled Chaos. Sanity is a new faction in NXT led by Eric Young. Heard the theme, really wasn't for me, but, then again, yeah. Next theme we have, and also done by CFOs, is Stand Tall, the theme of TM61. Tag team in NXT. First few times I listened to it, wasn't a big fan of it, but I really grew to like it. So definitely that's when I think you should download. Next up, Kurt Hawkins, Face the Facts. This one also released by CFOs. When I first heard it, I didn't really quite know what to make of it. When I listen to it again, it kind of reminds me of sort of like a MacGyver, A-Team kind of 80s action a television show theme. So that one I'm really quite digging. Next up is the Usos and their theme, Done With That. This, of course, much different from the theme they've used in the past. So Close Now. This kind of has more of a rap theme to it, and I didn't really dig that one. Tino Sabatelli, GOAT. I have yet to hear this one, as I don't watch NXT that often, but I'll give my review at a later date. We have the theme for The Golden Truth, the What's Up, The Golden Truth remix. Absolutely love this song. It is so great. I've loved all of our Truth themes that have been in WWE so far, and this is one of the best. Excuse me. This one, if you're looking for it on iTunes, it's actually under R Truth, R-Truth. If you want to find it, download it. We also had another release, Sasha Banks, Sky's the Limit, piano version. Have yet to hear this. Surprised they would put it up on... WWE Music actually has a YouTube channel, WWE Music. Check it out for all the newest WWE theme releases. That was an interesting one to get on there. Have not heard that one as of yet, so I can't really give my opinion on that one. Common Man Boogie, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Remix. This is the theme for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is, I believe, now taking place in NXT. This is the CFO's, of course, remake of Common Man Boogie, which was Dusty Rhodes' theme when he first came to the WWE in 1989. They've kind of really, added some really cool elements, like rock elements to it, and I'm really digging this one, so I give that one a thumbs up. I say definitely download that one. The newest theme we have is for another Cruiserweight Classic competitor, Noam Dar, this one called Weekend Rockstar, done by CFOs. This has a really cool feel to it. I think it's just an awesome song, and again, another one that definitely you should check out or download. If you want to check out any or all of these theme songs, you can listen to them on YouTube at youtube.com/WWE Music, which is the WWE Music's YouTube channel. If you're looking for them on iTunes, they will most likely be under CFOs, that's CFO $. The exceptions being The Golden Truth, which is released under R Truth. Well, that about does it for my time this week. Hopefully you had as much fun listening to me as I did talking to you. As always, be sure to follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Terry Koss Show Podcast. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter at Cheeto Koss. That's at CheetoKoss. And as always, if you see a really cool match, feel free to send a link my way. If you hear a really cool theme, feel free to send that my way. So that'll about do it for me for this week. For Terry Koss, I've been Terry Koss. I'll see you next week.